Hello, this is an instructional video I'm making showing the process that I use for using Smoothcast Onyx. This process could be used for any of the Smoothcast series from Smooth-On, such as 300, 305, etc. Really the difference is like how rigid the final product is, the set times, etc. Now the stuff that I'm showing today is the Onyx Slow. There's a fast version. The difference really is how fast the product sets. I like using the slow because it gives me more working time. So today what I'm going to be casting is a bat head for a Jack Skellington costume. This one here has been cast with Smooth-On Onyx and is fully completed, meaning I've actually finished painted it and everything. So what I have is a silicone mold made with Smooth-On Rebound 25, I believe it's 25, and I've also sprayed the silicone with a mold release so that the resin releases nicely and doesn't stick to the silicone. I've already poured in some of the part B, which is the black plastic that you can see inside there. What they call it, like black plastic, liquid plastic. And I've measured out how much I need for this mold, which is about 3 ounces. So I poured in 1.5 ounces, and then I just have to pour in the second part. Now, this is it's nice using these containers that have the markings because it makes for easy measuring, as well as once you are done actually doing your do a little bit more. Once you're done, the plastic kind of hardens, and whatever you've been mixing the plastic in is garbage. So you can buy these containers that have the markings on the side for actual amounts, such as in ounces, and then you can just throw it away after. So you just have to mix or pour in the part A and the part B, and it's a 1-to-1 ratio. So that means whatever you put in of part A, you need to put in the same amount of part B. There are some products that you have to go by weight, so it might be like a 2-to-1 ratio by weight or something like that. This Smooth-On Smoothcast stuff, I think pretty sure all of it is really great because it's just a 1-to-1 ratio. So this is where you want to take your time and really mix this well. If you mix the product too quickly, then you're going to induce or cause air bubbles to form inside the plastic, so your final product will have air bubbles in it. So again, this is why I like using the slow versus the fast. The Onyx Fast, or any of their products that have a fast set, you have to mix it very quickly and then use it quickly. It gets really hot really quickly, and once it starts to get hot, then the actual liquid plastic starts to really set and gel up. So if it gels up and gets too thick, then it's not going to capture all the details in whatever it is that you're casting. So you want to make sure you scrape the sides of the container, like so, to make sure you get as much of the different part A and part B off that might be clinging on the sides. Same thing with the bottom, kind of scrape the bottom, and always keep your stir stick on the bottom as you stir it. That way you're really stirring the whole mixture. So I can already feel this actually the cup's starting to get warm from the chemical reaction. And also on a side note, with the Smooth-On Smoothcast stuff that I've used, it doesn't have a smell. So it's not like a 2-part epoxy that has a really strong smell that you need like a special mask, and if you do it in your garage or in your home, then it's going to smell for days. This stuff really has no smell whatsoever. Okay, and by the way, another thing is these stir sticks I bought in like a box of 100 from Walmart for like $10. So again, another throwaway. So I'm going to put that aside. So now I've had this really well mixed. Like I said, the cup is getting very warm, and you want to pour into the lowest section of your mold and then let it fill up. So very carefully, I'm just going to start pouring this in. There we go. And then I like to kind of just carry it over into the ear. Same thing on this side. That way it gets all that way. Now, I may just have to adjust this mold just to make sure that it gets all the way. There we go. Now the level of my table is not perfect, so I need to pick this corner up just a tiny bit. Maybe I'll use the stir stick that I no longer need, just to give me that little bit extra height. So one reason I have to do this is, one, my table is not perfectly level, and also this mold was not made perfectly level. So, something I have to deal with. Okay, there we go. So that will set up in about, I would say probably in about 30 minutes I'll be able to demold this, and then we'll take a look at the final product. Okay, so it's been about 30 minutes, or actually a bit more than that, and the plastic in this should have set fairly well by now. So I'm just going to peel off this mold, and because I use that release agent, it just comes off very easily. And there we go. So the detail that you're able to get out of these silicone molds is really amazing. Any little bump or crevice or anything like that will actually really show up. There's no like avoiding that. So when you make these molds, you really have to make sure that you get it as exact as possible from what you want. Now at the top, you can see it kind of swelled up right here, and I find that happens when it gets really hot. It's not like there's anything wrong with it, because I'll be able to I'll use a knife and just cut this little raised part off. But I think what happens is, just during the curing process, when it gets really hot, it's like it just expands in certain spots. I've done this many times and never really had an issue. Sometimes they just bubble up in certain areas like so. But like I said, I'll just take a knife, trim that off while it's still soft, and then once it's fully cured, then I just take some sandpaper or a Dremel and just clean that edge off. So you can kind of see it there. So otherwise though, it turned out pretty good. And like I said, every little detail shows, which is fine because this is kind of like the look I wanted. And the next step then will be to finish painting it. So what I do is I give it a quick sanding, just a light sanding, and then I use just some black spray paint, flat black spray paint, to give it a nice even black look, and then just paint in the detail eye work. If you have any questions or comments about the process that I used or anything like that, feel free to leave them below and I will do my best to answer them. Thank you very much for watching.